I mean, I've seen both, for the record, because I was dead broke. When you grow up affluent, as I did, right?
And up next, we're going to check in with another left-wing internet star, Hasan Piker, who's just been caught in yet another lie. Oh, shocker. Day that ends in Y. Streaming star Hasan Piker just got caught lying, this time about growing up poor or being poor earlier in his life, because now he was making a point about capitalism and socialism. However, he admitted in the past that he did not, in fact, grow up poor. So we're going to, once again with Hasan, give him a little bit of a reality check using his own words and take a look at the clip that's getting him roasted at the moment. Listen to this.
This bullshit goes both ways. If you're wealthy and you critique capitalism, you're a hypocrite. If you're poor and you critique capitalism, you're jealous. Americans are so f***ing cuck sometimes. Exactly. I mean, I've seen both, for the record, because I was dead broke and was critiquing capitalism. And then people would be like, yeah, because you're a f***ing loser. And now that I have money and I still do it, people are like, well, hypocrite much? I didn't change. And it's always so strange. Obviously, this is like personal for me for many different reasons, because this is my life's f***ing work. But what's so funny about it is, like, people want you to almost be like, oh, once I got a touch of the bag, like once I touch the bag, it's over. Like this socialism shit is done. You know what I mean?
So I will give Hasan this point. I agree that simply somebody having money or being affluent and then being like, haha, champagne socialist isn't the best argument. It is better to focus on why they're actually wrong about their economic policies and beliefs. And I would happily do that with Hasan. But there is something to the idea that, like, listen, you want to redistribute everyone else's wealth, but yet you have all these houses when you could be giving money to the poor and to the needy. I think it's not an invalid critique, but it's not the most important one, which is that many of the policies he espouses and believes in would be catastrophic and have failed in most of the places they've been tried. But of course, the main thing here is this idea that he has been broke or that he somehow came up and made it. Hasan Piker grew up as an incredibly affluent person with well-off parents, and then got his start in media as a Nepo baby because his uncle Cenk Uygur was the co-founder, I believe, of the Young Turks and helped him get started. So this, and I don't begrudge him any of that. I'm not somebody who thinks it's like shameful to have ever benefited from nepotism or to have grown up with some advantages. That's just the way the world works, okay? I'm not shaming him for that. But to then claim that you were once broke and struggling and then you made it is just not true, and is just contradicting, again, yourself. Here is Hasan in the past explaining that he grew up privileged and affluent. Listen to this.
When you grow up affluent, as I did, right? By the time you get to f***ing college, even if you go to college in America where you get a slate wiped, basically, because you have no network in the same way in the United States of America, I still did not have to work to ensure that I took care of my family. That would have over my schooling in the process. You know what I mean? There's a tremendous amount of different societal pressures that I did not have to withstand as a consequence of growing up affluent.
So here, I think this was just a year or two ago, he admits that he grew up affluent. I mean, so you just lied earlier when you claimed that you'd been broke because you're rich now. You were rich then. When was the broke part? I mean, I just don't understand. And add it to the long list of reasons that Hasan Piker has no credibility at this point. So when he claims like, oh, I totally didn't shock my dog, she got her paw stuck. It's like, well, dude, you've been caught lying time and time and time again. So people are not going to take you seriously or believe you or ever give you the benefit of the doubt when you've just got an extensive track record at this point about not being honest with your audience. And just like other content creators, including those on the right, who I think aren't honest with their audiences, people need to stop rewarding them and continuing to watch him. Hasan continues to pull astronomical numbers on YouTube and on Twitch, and just millions of people go to him as a source for information and analysis, but he is fundamentally not trustworthy. And it's not just about his personal life. It's not just about his dog or about his growing up or anything like that. It's also in how he covers the news is fundamentally dishonest and, again, nasty. because he too decided to get in on the Erika Kirk hate train. Listen to this clip of him that he posted, suggesting all sorts of nefarious things about this grieving widow based off, again, very, very little. Listen to this.
Erika Kirk, JD Vance conspiracies have hit the timeline, ladies and gentlemen. I seen some crazy Here's the clip.
But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do.
The craziest photo is when she grabs him by the back of his head. I never seen nothing like that on camera. Bro, she straight up caressed this man. She straight up caressed this man's hair, bro. It was crazy. I ain't never seen nothing like that. I didn't even see it until it was popping on Twitter. It turns out it's on TikTok too. Let's take a look.
JD Vance's first wife, Usha, has got to be looking for an exit plan after the last few days. She then got to watch her husband put his hands all over the recently widowed Erika Kirk, who's clearly looking for another famous man in her life.
People just have no class, no dignity, no respect. They are attacking and insinuating terrible things about a widow whose husband has been dead for just not even 2 months, I think, like a matter of weeks. And you are microscopically analyzing her hand placement. And by the way, some of the still frames, again, they look a little odd, but these are dear friends of hers, not strangers. And there's videos of her hugging women in the same way. And when you actually watch the video of the hug, it's really not that weird. And what is that strange about I see similarities between Charlie and VP Vance, because they're both great conservative leaders and American whatever, and she supports the Trump-Vance administration. She wants to praise them by comparing them favorably to her husband. There's actually nothing weird about that. And this idea that, it's actually insane that he's putting this crazed TikToker up on his stream to millions of people saying, Usha, JD Vance's first wife, they're not divorced. They're not getting divorced. Like, these people, the conspiracy, MSNBC, wine mommification of left-wing politics is out of control in this country. And there's just something gross about this. There's just a complete lack of respect and dignity in the way they're talking about and handling this issue. And sure, you can hop in my comments and say, but MAGA, but Trump, and point to a bunch of issues or posts or stances or things they've said and done where they didn't have dignity or grace or respect. But that doesn't matter. You're still responsible for how you conduct yourself. And especially with someone like Erika Kirk, if there's ever a time to take the high road, that's probably it. If you want to go after Trump in nasty and personal ways, I'm not going to do that when I make criticisms of him, because I just try to abstain from that. But I can at least understand that, because he does that to others. He has put himself out there as a major political figure. Erika Kirk is a widow, and yes, she's entered the political fray somewhat, so her opinions and perspectives are fair game for criticism. But she, as far as I'm aware, has not, done anything or gone after people in some sort of cruel way. And even if she had, she just lost her husband. Take the high road for once. But I don't really think there's any standards for someone like Hasan. It's just, look, they're shitting on Republicans and conservatives. Oh my God, dude, I never seen anything like that. Let me put this random person up saying horrible things on my stream. All these young people watching me, let me just poison their minds with venom and hate and polarization, and then I'll just make millions more dollars for myself while making everything worse. Oh, maybe tomorrow I'll go back to supporting designated terror groups or saying the murder of Republican senators would be justified. But don't worry, I'll still be kind of a darling of the left in America, and I'll still get all these glamorous magazine profiles and these reporters thirsting after me and coming to watch me lift and filming me for their glossy profiles. I mean, the whole thing with him is just demoralizing, because he is such a dishonest and, I think, destructive voice and force in American political media today, and yet he does not really seem to be abating. I talked about this on News Nation with my friend Batya Ungar-Sargon, who hosts a show for them, and he did, I think, get a lot of backlash over Kaya, over the scandal where he's alleged, and I believe he did, but he denies it, to have shocked his dog Kaya. He did get a lot of backlash for that, but it seems like that is fading, and it's just back to normal for him. And he hasn't really missed a beat or seen much of a drop off in his audience, even though he very clearly, in my view, lied about that in multiple different ways, changing his story. And this is what concerns me about American media, that people just keep getting away with the indefensible, and then their audiences don't punish them. You're supposed to, as an audience member, if people make mistakes or lie to you and don't take accountability or correct it, stop rewarding them with your time and trust, because that is what that is their currency, that is their revenue. But instead, it's like a lot of people apparently want to be lied to and want to be just used like this and exploited and inflamed in the most toxic ways imaginable, because they keep coming back for more. So to some extent, the audience, the public, are the problem, not even just Hasan. But he is too, of course. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button and all that.